Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Saturday, and tonight we're going to be doing an Italian red from the Banfi vineyards. Now, the Banfi was originally started in 1919, not as a vineyard, but as a shipper of wines, a marketer, retailer of it. Not the retail, but the distribution. And it was founded by John Morano of Senior in 1919. He was born in Italy. When he was 8 years old, his father was killed in a work accident, and due to financial difficulties, John and his siblings, he was only 8 at the time, 5 of his siblings had to move back to Italy. And they had an aunt there, okay, Thelinda Banfi, and what she did was, she's a very interesting woman. She was the first woman to live in the Sistine Palace. Now, she was by Pope Pius XI. She was the first woman, and she was hired to be the housekeeper. Okay, and she had great knowledge of foods and wines, and it was a big thing at the time. People were like, "What's a woman living there for?" The only one ever was a nun, but she was the Pope's adopted sister because she was an orphan, and the Pope's parents adopted her as a young child, and so she became. As a matter of fact, she's buried in the Vatican City, and just an amazing story. So he comes back to America, and he opens up in 1919 in Little Italy. John Senior now, he opens up. And very well educated too by the aunt. So he opens up a place on down in Spring Street, Little Italy, and he goes into the wine, wholesaling business of bringing wines into the country. And he had 2 sons, and he did very well with this. And then he had 2 sons. He had John Jr. and Harry, and both went to Colgate. One went to Colgate, one went to Cornell. Then the senior, John Jr. went to Colgate and Cornell for grad school. And then the son, they had children, and they ran the business, and they produced, and they did very well. And after 30 years in the business, the father retired, left the business to the thing. It's located now, the headquarters are in Brookville, Long Island. It's a 55-acre estate, 80-room, beautiful old mansion that belonged to the Vanderbilts. Okay, now they have 16 wineries in 4 different countries. They're in Chile, Cacho de Toro. They have Pacific Rim out. They have one in Washington, which is excellent. They also have one in Oregon. Okay, but Italy is there. Italy was the mainstay. Like in '77, they first went over. They bought a vineyard, and then they bought another vineyard. They're in the Piedmont region and the Tuscany region, and that's their mainstay. Now they're Bruno di Montalcino, and they make a Reserva. They make a lot of DOCG wines, which is the higher of the Italian wines. They also make DOC wines, and the wine we're having tonight, this is just a table red, okay? And this is done from 3 different grapes. This is done from Sangiovese, a Merlot, and a Cab, okay? Now, so now the winery, their grandchildren, who is Christina, she went to Georgetown and then graduated Columbia with an MBA in the 90s, right? And in business and marketing. And the other son, grandson, they both CEOs. They chair the CEO floor, and they're both in sales and marketing. And they just expanded it. They got the Pacific Rim now. They're buying Washington. They go in. They're like they're very sharp. It's almost like the Warren Buffetts of the wine world. They go in, they get the right vineyards, they get the right land, the right soils. when they first bought their first vineyard in '77, they got Enzo, who was one of the top premier ecologists who knows, soils, microclimates, and they've expanded. They got 127 different wines now. I mean, they are just they just bought in Piedmont. They bought out a winery, and they're starting to do a lot of champagnes. You're going to see the champagnes. They don't call them champagnes. They call them sparkling wines because only champagne's allowed to call it champagne. They abide by that law. We're different, but that's because we were never invited to the party. But Italian and some of the German champagnes are really starting to do very well. Now, this wine is 2016. And another thing, this is called Chantilly. Okay, that's how they pronounce it, Chantilly. It's a 2016. It's a red blend. This is a nice, easy, pleasing table wine. I buy this. This sells for like $10. Okay, it's an 87, 88 in the scale. They also make a Rossi. They make three different types of this Chantilly, and it's a really nice, enjoyable, light, good wine. Now the family, what they also did, and they have a foundation, and they're very, very generous. Matter of fact, in 1990, when they had the flood in Italy, they gave the seed money to Catholic Charities to go build 800-room unit for housing and to build an orphanage and a technical school. And they do a lot for underprivileged, they do a lot of scholarships. They do scholarship funds. They do that. People are interested in foods and wines. That's their bread and butter, and they love it. And I guess they were lucky enough to come from, and the aunt took care of them, and the rest is history. I mean, and look where they went to school: Cornell, Colgate, Georgetown, Columbia. I mean, every one of them. And they're very sharp in business. And you see they're in Chile. They bought Cacciatore. Matter of fact, they made a lot of money with Riunite Lambrusco. They were the ones who brought that in, and it was a big money maker. It's not it's not like their Brunellos or the Di Montalcinos, but they made them enough that they could go back and buy a couple vineyards in Italy, And they're now this is 60% Sangiovese, 20% Merlot, and 20% Cab. Okay, this is a Tuscany, like we were talking about the Chiantis. This would be outside the Chianti regions, but it's hilly. You got good sloping hills, good drainage. They have the clay and limestone, and they do technology. When they bought both these vineyards, they were 100, 200-year-old, castles. They went in the latest technology. They bring in the best people. They bring in smart people. They keep people at work there when they come in. They really, really work it. They work very like Pacific Rim. They came in there. They knew Pacific Rim's good. Okay, we'll give you the seed. We'll run it. We'll go with you. And they're a great marketing tool, and they're good. I mean, when you buy their wines, you pretty much, you're dealing with the top notch. I mean, it's not like the Brunello di Montalcinos. You just buy them in the dark. I mean, they're great. I mean, they could be $100, $150, $90s, $80s. They're all up in their prices. This wine's $9. It's a table wine. This is a good wine for to drink every day. And this is this maturation period. They do this wine for like 7 days. They do the maturation. Then they'll use some yeast in it. Sometimes they'll blend it. Sometimes they'll let it sit down low. It's up to the rain, the season, the grapes. And they short barrel us. This is done in French oak. It's done 4 to 6 months. Then short time in the bottle. It's sent out to drink. Okay, you got berry. Look at the legs. This got some, I'm surprised. It's got some nice tannins in it. But you know, these are nice. It's ripe fruit. I don't pick up maybe a hint of vanilla or something, but not, and some spice, but no, I don't get chocolate here. I don't get any must, no earth. See, like this is lighter than a Chianti. If a Chianti's too much for you, because Chianti, your tongue goes right to the roof, right? So you got the big tannins. This, you drink it, it's well rounded. If you like a Merlot, this is almost like somewhere between a Merlot and a Chianti. Almost more like a Pinot. It drinks very light, very nice. This is very enjoyable. This is good with pasta. You could even do this with a spicy fish, you know, because it's not overpowering. You wouldn't do it with a fish, but if you had like a, you know, puttanesca too would be great with this. You know, with olives. Do any. You can do red meat. You could chicken parm. You can do anything with this. You know, you got the mozzarella and the red sauce. This would work good. This would work very good. It's got acidity and it's got good balance. You know, it's got enough acidity with your little, and you got, it's nice, good balance. It's an enjoyable wine. And like I say, you bring this to a party, you know, you have people over, you open this, you buy a couple bottles, you go, I mean, it's $10. It's a good one, you know. And it's a great family. I mean, they do the right thing. They give back, and they're big on ecology. Big on ecology. When Christina came in, last 10 years, she's really done, and she's great at marketing. You know, you go on, her thing is you hit a wine, she'll tell you where it is, how it is, you know, very, very sharp. And she revamped the whole place as far as technology, not just growing the grapes, doing it, but, you know, having everything in place, because it's a time sensitive environment. And it's right here on Long Island, the headquarters. Okay? So take care. Have a good night. Have a great day. It's a little sunny. Get out there. You can go for a walk. Wave to the neighbors from a distance. Don't be over talking to them. You know they're walking around with those red Solo cups, hugging each other. That doesn't work, okay? We got to stay at distance, okay? So enjoy yourself, and let's pray for all those that are defending us. And when I say defending us, it's those heroes working in the hospitals, the nursing homes. Don't forget the nursing homes, those people, okay? So the hospitals, the nursing homes, the cops, the mailmen, people are going to work that don't want to go to work, but they're going to work to make our lives better, okay? So God bless. Have a great night. And tomorrow I think we're going to do Italian, French white. You know, we'll do a French white, maybe a muscadet. It's a perfect Sunday afternoon. You know, roast the chicken and get the baguette. So we'll have the muscadet. Take care. Bye-bye.